Time now for our community update. Joining us this morning is Green Bay Mayor Eric Genrich. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Now, the nice weather has made a return, I'm sure you noticed. And with that, bird scooters are back, plus e-bikes. How will both of those benefit Green Bay?
Yeah, some great news. I think Bird was really impressed with the number of rides that we had in the city of Green Bay, really competitive with much larger cities across the country. So we had something like 43,000 rides used by the scooters last year. So as you said, they're back. It's actually a different model. So Bird's very proud of the model of scooter that they're providing us. They look like a major upgrade from what we had last year. Fewer of them tipping over, and we also have some e-bikes that are being shown right here. So really excited to have the e-bikes added to the program. That was something that we were sort of insistent about. We love the scooters, but the city had a previous program that included some bicycles in the past, and a lot of people were really interested in bringing that feature back. So yeah, encouraging folks throughout the community to ride the bikes and the scooters, but to do it responsibly, and of course to wear a helmet. Bird actually has a program for free helmets, so you just have to cover the shipping and handling. If you have the app, you can fill out an application to get a free helmet, so encouraging people to do that, of course.
Oh, that is really cool. Now, what was the community feedback on these?
By and large, very positive. We did have some users that were not using them constructively and were creating some graffiti downtown, but these models will not enable users to do that. And so we've been cooperating and having conversations with our business community downtown to make sure that we have some of those safeguards in place. But yeah, just another mode of transportation that's available to the community, and we're excited to have it back.
Are there any concerns about safety?
Yeah, like I said, encouraging people to wear helmets, of course, and just to abide, normal traffic laws. They are considered to be a vehicle like a car or like a bicycle, so people really need to be riding them in the street and obeying all laws.
Now in Green Bay, there's been development of building new housing in downtown Green Bay on Cherry Street. What's the latest on that?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are probably familiar with Bosses downtown, the Green Bay Institution, the newspaper magazine store. So above that structure used to be a Masonic temple. So that building is actually capable of holding a number of additional stories, because there was a fire that took out a bunch of stories there years and years ago, which is an interesting bit of city history. So as a result, a developer approached us with the concept of adding some additional stories to that structure. So we're going to see 5 additional stories added to that Bosses building, around 57 units, apartment units created there. $13 million of value added to our downtown and to our community, and I think most importantly, just adding to the number of residents who are downtown consistently, supporting our businesses and community generally. So we're really excited to see that move forward.
Okay, the city is participating in No Mow May this year. What does that mean?
Yeah, so we are encouraging residents actually not to cut their lawn in the month of May. Registrations are closed, however, so people did need to sign up by May 7th and also pick up a yard sign. So we had a huge number of people sign up, 1,000 individuals in the city or household sign up. Only 500, however, have picked up a sign, so we're encouraging people to stop down to City Hall or the DPW West or East garages and grab a sign to let neighbors know that they're participating. Another thing to note, we had a number of folks outside of the city of Green Bay attempt to register, so just reminding folks that if you're not in the city of Green Bay and your community is not abiding by No Mow May or supporting it, just to be aware of that.
Yeah, and it's all to help the pollinators. And quickly, summer vacation is around the corner with kids and everything. What are some job opportunities in the city?
Yeah, so we have a lot of seasonal employment available in the city, of course, over at Bay Beach, at our pools, our playground supervisor program, or known as our Parky program, still hiring in all of those aspects. I think people probably noticed that Bay Beach's hours aren't the standard hours this year, and that's as a result of having a shortage of employees, so still encouraging folks to apply to work at Bay Beach as well as our pools. I think last count we have close to 20 openings at our pools, and if we don't hit that preferred number, we're not going to be able to open all of our pools. So just encouraging, especially parents, to communicate with their kids. Youth employment is much lower now than it was a couple decades ago when I was in high school. So not to reminisce about the good old days necessarily, but certainly encouraging parents to have that conversation with their kids and encourage them to get out in the workforce.
Are there any incentives to apply, and where can people apply?
There are, yeah. We have competitive wages, but in addition to that, we have bonus programs for both employees at Bay Beach and also at our pools. People can apply online, so just hop on the Green Bay Parks and Rec page on the city's website and fill out the application.
All right, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
George.
A little hazy sunshine here in Green Bay. Forecast is looking warm and humid with a high around 80. Timing out those late day thunderstorms right after the break.